A very warm greeting to everyone present here and welcome back to Cricket Analysis by CNE. This is the second test review of West Indies versus Australia happening at St. George's. We have Vedant Sharan here in our expert panelist today. Before going ahead, Vedant, I want to tell something to the CNE audience and to you too as well. If you have not noticed, in the past 2-3 videos, we have posted a intro. So we have an intro and an outro now. It's very exciting. I have learned a bit of editing, so I put those in. So if it works out, Vedant, in your go, we'll say cue intro. Oh, I hope that the intro was good and it worked out, future Agni. But before that, Vedant, this test match, Vedant, has been like a copy paste of what happened in the first test match. What do you feel about this? And before saying that, tell me about the intro. How was the intro?
I think it's a great one. I think I watched it on loop 2 or 3 times actually. So I'm guilty of that. But yes, and as far as the match is concerned, it was similar. But although this time around, the lead which Australia took was bigger, so that was there.
Yeah.
Not a big margin.
Uh, but we'll talk about what happened in the series of the matches, of course. And in our reviews of the whole test match, we talk about the playing 11s. We talk about each innings and what happened in the innings. And we talk about what could have been better for the losing team or what went right for the winning team. So without further ado, we'll go on to the playing 11 of West Indies. Just the one change. Philip comes in for Warrington, where Warrington is a left-arm spinner. Philip is a pacer who has made his debut. And just like that, West Indies has a pace battery. Do you think it was a good decision, Vedant, at the end of the day, looking at how
Yes,
Australia did?
because with the wickets that they are producing, two spinners does not make any sense because the wicket does not have a lot for the spinners, and hence to
Hmm.
get in a medium pacer instead of a left arm spinner was, I think, a very good decision. Uh, yes.
Yeah, and talking about, I feel it's quite right for West Indies to make these kind of wickets because I feel like West Indies, even though they are not at their best, they are a team which are very dependent and very strong on their pace battery. And we can see Shamar Joseph, Jaden Seals, Justin Greaves. These are four premier pacers, and now you're adding another pacer to the lineup. This makes West Indies a well-rounded side. So I was quite impressed with the change here. Well, while they came to the match. We're going to talk about the Australian side, Vedant, and it's a forced change. They wouldn't have changed much after the first Test match. But Steve Smith has recovered from the injury he had sustained in the WTC final. He dislocated a finger, but he's now fine. He's back to full fitness, and he's really well. Australia is known for pecking orders, and really Steve Smith is someone you don't want to miss in the 11. So he's right back in the 11. So before going forward to the events of the match, we want to talk about Craig Brathwaite, Vedant, and he played his 100th Test match. How important is 100 Test matches, Vedant, and how big of an achievement is it for someone to play 100 Test matches internationally?
I think it's a very big achievement playing 100 test matches because of the level of fitness that it takes. And also the fact that to do that, you have to be consistently playing very good cricket for a long period of time. And and in a format which tests your batting the most. So hence for Brathwaite, I mean, he is a gem of a batsman, although he's a bit out of form, but he deserves it. And for overall for West Indies over the years, he has done very well.
Yeah, and in the period of West Indies who have not done in Test cricket, one of the bright stars for West Indies was Craig Brathwaite, who has held the batting order and was once upon a time captaining as well the side, and he has led the side well. The most famous win, of course, is the recent Gaba win in Australia. So he has quite a lot of ranks in his record, and the whole world is proud of him for what he has achieved in Test cricket, and especially playing 100 Test matches under a very scrutinizing board, which is very less forgiving than the BCCI. I mean, to play 100 Test matches is a very big achievement. We go on to the Test match now. Australia won the toss again and chose to bat first. And we see Carey, Webster, and Head on the top scores. That means that the West Indies have again railed the top order completely. Even Steve Smith had no answers to them. And especially Philip opened the account while taking off Constance, who is in a very bad form right now. He hasn't scored much in this series. And then he has taken Steve Smith, he has taken Cameron Green, and West Indies were at top. Australia were again reeling in the morning. It's a very funny picture of Shamar Joseph looking very short towards Alzadi Joseph. I agree. I think that he's taller than that. But yeah, Jaden Seals, Shamar Joseph, Alzadi Joseph started very well, Vedant. And how do you feel that this West Indies attack can have is improving, and how can they win matches from here? Because after that, Australia rebuilt. This is one of the key differences between West Indies and Australia. West Indies created partnerships in their batting, but Australia, while they batted, they got a collapse. And then Australia in the middle order, like what happened in the first match, Vedant, they built up again. Is this a big problem for West Indies, Vedant?
I think firstly, I don't think Australia reeled under pressure in the starting because the first wicket fell for 47 runs, with Usman Khwaja being the first wicket. So I don't think they reeled under pressure in the starting. However, for Australia, we have seen Travis Head, Carey, and Webster scoring now for in the previous game also they did. So that is there, and overall with the track that was on offer, Australia did very well to get to 286.
Yeah, and in a track like West Indies, one brings two, two brings three. It's that sort of a track, and that happened. But when two batsmen stayed together, they stitched a big partnership. And this time it was again the middle order for Australia, which has done very well in this Test series. Bill Webster and Alex Carey both scoring 50s, and Travis Head with his quick fire 29, who, well, again, he's in great form. He has been consistent for Australia for a long period of time now, and he has been consistent in this series as well. So they have rebuilt. They've went on to score around 200 plus, and then West Indies came about and they completely rattled the tail as well. They didn't let the tail get away. Cummins, Stark, Lyon didn't score much. They are usually the bunny in the back for other teams when they play, because they, in comparison to the other teams, have a very quality tail because they can bat. It's not like they can't bat. Every one of them can be a night watchman, which means everyone has a defense. So that has been removed by West Indies, and they ended up at 286 for a wicket where they started off well, but then they lost the wicket. Then they lost wickets at quick intervals. Australia have done very well to get to 286. In reply, West Indies scored a similar 253 with Brandon King, who has debuted this series, scoring a 75. Campbell, the opener, scored a 40, and Shamar Joseph at 29. That's interesting how he got there. Vedant want to talk about how it happened as well for West Indies, where West Indies also lost a bit of wickets after having a bit of a partnership at the start, and they lost wickets as well in the early stages. So it was very similar to the Australian innings as well, where Pat Cummins took the opening honors. Craig Batswell didn't score a lot of runs. I think he got out on a duck. So it wasn't. It was a very good start for Australia, but Campbell played well. And again, for Australia and for West Indies, there have been people who have stood up. And this time it was Campbell and Brandon King who have done very well. So the show the visuals of both, they have built a very good partnership with each other, and they have played individually very well to get West Indies to a solid platform to score a good total. Well, Australia again came on to the middle order because the match was going in a bit of an ebbs and flow. So it was tilted towards West Indies at start, then it went to Australia, then it came again to West Indies, and it went back to Australia. So Vedant, you feel like it's a level match because it's at one point a team is getting an advantage and another team is getting an advantage. You see here that it was not the pacers who got the wickets in the middle stages. It was Nathan Lyon. Do you feel like in the later part of the match, the pitch started to grip a bit?
See, with respect to your first question on how the match proceeded, I think at one stage Australia was 110 for 5 and West Indies also were 111 for 4 at one stage. So it was very similar in terms of that, and it moved up to and fro. It was not one-sided as the result might look. And as far as Nathan Lyon is concerned, there was not a lot for him on the wicket, but just the experience and the nagging line that he bowls, which gets him those wickets. So it was the experience which came into play for him, which
Mhm.
is what I believe, because Nathan Lyon has been playing cricket on bowler friendly pitches. Sorry, pacer friendly wickets for a long time, because back in Australia also you get pacer friendly wickets. Even in West Indies we have now seen pacer friendly wickets, and now he's used to bowling in such tracks and getting wickets, and also with his economy also. And
Yeah.
also players look to attack him, and then he foxed them and got the better out of them. So it is always very interesting to watch Nathan Lyon bowl.
Yeah, it's like he gives the bait to the batsman to play at it because he tosses it right up. Be it in any pitch, he tosses it right up, asking the batsman to drive him. And sometimes it pulls off where the batsman really hits it for a very well drive four. But in the other ball, it nips right in and the batsman falls in Lions' traps. And especially in pace friendly wickets, you need to be consistent as well. And West Indies really fell to Nathan Lyon, really, because in the middle part of the game, Nathan Land took control of the proceedings, and that's how West Indies were again found a bit reeling. Then the big difference between Australia and West Indies, this in these two innings, even though they scored similar type of runs, was the tail. We saw Alzari Joseph and Shamar Joseph with the ball, but we also saw Alzari Joseph and Shamar Joseph with the bat. They both scored 20 odd each in their pair, and they batted so brilliantly. Vedant, do you think that Shamar Joseph should be batting up the order, seeing how consistent he is in his batting nowadays?
Yeah, I think he definitely should, because I think he has been among the run scorers in every innings for West Indies. And Australia scored in the lower middle order with Alex Carey and Webster scoring,
Uh-huh.
and West Indies in the we can say the tail. The tail for West Indies did very well, because at one time West Indies was 169 for 6, and from there
Hmm.
they went to 253. Australia, on the other hand, added 40 runs or 45 runs for the last 4 wickets. So that way, West
Yeah.
Indies added more runs. But for West Indies, the problem has been that the top order and even the lower middle order has not been contributing as much runs as you would like. So that
Yeah.
is an issue, because the tail with the Pacers are doing very well in both batting also and in bowling also.
And I feel that is the only, if not only, one of the main differences between Australia and West Indies this series was the batting quality of both teams. Their ability to handle collapses, and if there were no collapses, their ability to take on opportunities and then go on to score big runs. That has been missing for West Indies. But nevertheless, there were 33 runs in trailing, and one would imagine that it's not that big of a trail to start with because 33 runs after two innings, yes, you have to score in the fourth innings. Yes, you have to score 33 extra runs, but it isn't really too much. It's really the match was in balance at this point of time. We're going to talk about it more about the Australian innings where they scored 243, where Steve Smith is, of course, among the runs. You can't really keep Steve Smith out of the game. And starting with, again, Sam Constance went down early, and
So
West
did
Indies were
Khwaja.
again,
Again,
yeah,
there
yeah,
was
yeah.
a
And
collapse. So did Khwaja, both of them.
yeah, yeah. And again,
Australia were 4 for 2 at one point.
yeah. So again, you'll see like West Indies also again made a top order collapse. So it's a tit for tat, and tit for tat, right? Again. So it's like a pattern in all three innings that happened where the top order collapsed. The difference was between the fourth innings and the first three innings was that after the collapse, the runs happened. The runs came forward. There was a partnership stitched, and that exactly happened between Cam Green and Steve Smith. Sorry, and between Steve Smith. Steve Smith, we know is a quality player, but the topic we want to talk about today is Cameron Green. Cameron Green at number one has not scored well at all. He started his one down play at the WTC final itself, not scoring much at all, falling to I think Kagiso Rabada if I'm not wrong. And then in the series as well, in the first Test match, he hasn't been among the runs as well, and in the first innings of the second Test match. So a lot of questions begging forward that is Cameron Green really good enough for number one down? Should Manas Labuschagne come back to the side? But this innings, Cameron Green scored a 50, and this would be a very important 50 for him, Vedant, because the pressure of having bad form comes off him, and he has some confidence behind him.
In even in the first innings, Cameron Green got a 26. He could not convert it to a 50, but I think he has been playing well, and with the wicket, the WTC wicket, and even this time around the wicket, I think with the new ball it is very difficult to bat because the ball is moving around, seaming around a lot, and hence we see a lot of collapses. I'd not say collapses. We see a lot of teams making those early inroads with the ball. But then again, it is very important to stay out there, hang in there, wait for the ball to get maybe 30 over 30 odd overs, 40 odd overs old, not with losing a lot of wickets, and then trying to score, which in Australia's case, the lower middle order with Carey, Webster, they have done when Travis said, they have done really well. With West Indies, that seems to be a bit lacking. Those runs
Yeah.
need to be 50, 60 more runs, and that could have been the
The
difference.
partnerships should happen. I feel like the partnerships should happen.
Big partnerships. The
Yeah.
partnerships are happening, but it's not going beyond a 50, 45, 50. So you have to get that to a 70, 80. So that
Mm.
that has to be there. So
And
Australia has
especially
better
against
partnerships. Yes.
and especially against teams like Australia who always keep probing at length and they have quality bowlers. They have been playing for a long time with experienced bowlers. You need to hang in there, and especially you need a very strong word that is used for Test cricket and it's very appreciated: patience. Patience is
Patience
required for.
and technique. Very solid technique.
Of course, technique is one of the most basic things I think I
Yes.
would think of, because in
Solid.
international cricket, if you have the
It's
technique,
it is very basic, yet it is the most important thing which is required. That
yeah, one could say actually, coming back to my words, I think one could say it's basic, but it's one of the most delicate things. Even a bit, maybe like in international cricket, most importantly in international cricket, if you get your foot wrong, if you can't get your foot towards the ball, maybe it's angling a bit inwards, or your pad is coming in front. That's how you can lose your wicket as well. It's
There are
professional.
there are a lot of ways you can, by edging
Yeah,
deliveries outside off,
yeah, yeah. A
put
lot of
down
ways. Yeah,
Virat Kohli, then a bat pad gap, then maybe planting your leg a bit too across, short balls.
yeah,
Overall, you have to have a solid technique both on the front foot and on the back foot to do well in
yeah.
international cricket. And Test cricket does that with now, even with the wickets also now very pacer friendly and bowler friendly in this series. The technique has been tested a lot, and only those players are scoring who have a solid technique, because without which you cannot score.
Yeah. Like for example, a young Sam Constas who has played in the series and he has uh, come about in West Indies. He has been giving a full go here. I feel like, because they want to try him out as an opener. He's
Yeah.
very young, but he'll get a lot of experience because I don't think his technique has been right. And the West Indies bowlers have completely dominated
Exploited
on
that.
him.
Yes.
Yeah, exploited it definitely. Well, the partnership was happening between Steve Smith and Cameron Green, and the game was drifting a bit till there was a moment in the game where Roston Chase decided to change the ball a bit. He asked for a ball change, and that was successful. And he got a Duke's ball. He got a Duke's ball into play, and we can see that in the English series that is happening, England versus the India series, the Duke's ball gets really soft often. Here, though, the
Very
ball
early on.
was, yeah, very early on the ball was getting very soft.
Yeah.
Here, though, in the West Indies part, the ball was not getting soft because it's been introduced a bit in the middle of the play, where around 20-30 overs were bowled, and then the ball change happened.
Yeah.
And from then onwards, wickets started tumbling. That's how important the deuce balls are in Test cricket. If the ball gets soft, it is really difficult for bowlers to have a fair play on the batsman. And that's why you can see in the Indian series as well. I'm bringing that topic forward. It's ongoing right now. You can see that there is a lot of ball changes. They're asking for a lot of ball changes because if the ball is hard and the shape is correct, they can get a lot more purchase of the wicket. And that's what happened in this series as well, and in this match specifically, because now wickets kept tumbling, and they tumbled a lot because Cameron Green fell, Steve Smith fell, then the middle order couldn't contribute much as well, and then they ended up at 243. Didn't look like they'll reach at 243. Vedant, correct me if I'm wrong, after but after what happened in the wicket, it really they tumbled to 243, and
I
that
won't say
really
I
gives
won't
hope.
say they tumbled, because see, with the new ball we'll go a bit early. In with the new ball, Australia, as I said, they were 4-4-2, then they got to 28 for 3 with Nathan Lyon was sent as a night watchman, so
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
he got out. But then we saw a partnership between a 90 odd partnership of Cameron Green and Steven Smith. So when the ball changed, that partnership, Cameron Green got out. Then Smith got out
yeah,
later, so it opened the roads for the West Indies to make inroads, and hence from 121 for 3 they went to 243. So maybe
yeah,
that had the ball change not happened, maybe the 243 could have been a 300, 50, 60 runs more. But
yeah.
yes, so what the ball change essentially did was that it broke this partnership, and thereby it gave West Indies an opportunity to test the newer batsmen with Carey coming in.
Yeah. And that's what exactly happened. West Indies made inroads and they kept being consistent and didn't really give Australia an opportunity to make a partnership again. And that ended up with Australia scoring 243 with West Indies needing 276. On the fourth innings on a pace friendly track, it's never easy to score 276, but it's never too tough as well because 276 accounts for a good chase, it's a good chase to have, but it's never impossible. So one would imagine that again, what happened in the first innings, West Indies needed about 300 runs. They've crumbled quite badly. And right here in the second test match as well, West Indies crumbled badly. 143 all out.
I think it's
This performance.
again the top order not performing, which we have seen with West Indies time and again that the top order is
Yeah,
performing. In the fourth innings, they fell to 33 for 4 within the 12th over. And so
yeah,
with batting, of course, for 30 overs, as we have said time and again, that you have to hang in there, not lose your wicket, play with solid technique. So that we have with the top order of West Indies, we have not seen them contributing. And in with a chase of 250 on such a wicket, 250 plus 276. So with a chase of with this target, if you're already 33 for 4 in the 12th over, then it becomes very difficult to rebuild. So I mean,
yeah,
take Australia were 121 for 4 and you are 33 for 4. So you have lost the game over there. And even from 121 for 4, Australia went to 243, you went to 143. So there it's not a much of, but again it's the top order which has not been applying themselves, and which we have again and again said for West Indies that for that to happen, they need the batsmen at the top. They need Craig Brathwaite, they need Campbell, they need Carty, they need Brandon King to be there and play out for 40 overs, hang in there, stay there, not lose their wickets. It is only then when for even if you score less in 40 overs, you get 80 runs, 90 runs, 100 runs does not matter. Then when the ball gets off, when it becomes easier to bat, then the lower order which we have
capitalize on it.
known, then you can max it out in the next 40 overs up to the 80th over, and then that
Yeah.
is the only way West Indies can win in the next match or can go forward, because all their departments are doing very well except the top order batting, which has defaulted for them, which is why they are ending on the losing side. I mean, if we look at the victory margin 133, and in the previous game also it was a huge margin, but if you look at the game, if you watch the game which I have, then it was an even contest for the first two
Yeah.
innings. It was an even contest. It was only after that that in the third and fourth innings that Australia with the top order scored, got to 100 for 4, 120 for 5, and West Indies lost 40 for 4, 30, in this case 33 for 4. In the previous match also they lost wickets earlier. So that is where they are losing the plot, because in the
Yeah.
second innings they were in the first test match, I think they had a lead of 10 runs. If I'm yes, they had a lead of 10
Yeah,
runs.
yeah, yeah. They had a
And
lead of
this
10 runs.
yes, and in this innings they were only 30 runs behind. So from there, just the fourth innings, third innings, fourth innings with the batsmen, they are disappointing the team, I would say.
Yeah, and to win test matches, you need to have all departments on check: the fielding department, the bowling department, and the batting department. And in this test match, again, the batting department has faltered. Adding to your point, Vedant, Pat Cummins said in the post-match conference that I felt like both the matches were quite close and very equally. The competition was quite similar, even though the margin of victory you can see is by 133 runs or
Exactly my
159
point.
runs. Exactly. So that is the only difference between both teams in these two test matches, where the batsmen in the fourth innings, the West Indies batsmen in the fourth innings, they just couldn't hang on to the wicket and they couldn't bide their time. They couldn't play it run by run, and that's what exactly happened. Roston Chase tried to make some kind of resilient fight by scoring a 34 and then going on Shamar Joseph again going on top of the scoreline. I feel like he should really bat at 5-6 down at this point.
At
And
5-6 down, they have Roston Chase coming in. Shai Hope comes in. So I think they. But yeah,
yeah,
maybe he can bat ahead of Alzari Joseph. That could be there.
yeah,
Or
yeah, yeah, ahead of Alzari Joseph, like 6-7 down. I feel like,
six down.
yeah,
Because
six seven
he's
down. I feel
batting,
like that.
he's going there and he's hitting those sixes. I mean, in the 24 also there are three sixes. So, and
Yeah.
in fact, that is where Nathan Lyon is getting the wickets, because with on introducing Nathan Lyon, players like Shamar Joseph are trying to hit him out of the ground, and they have. Shamar Joseph has been successful three times, but that one
Hmm.
time he got his wicket. That is why we are seeing Nathan Lyon be among the wickets.
Yeah, you see Netherlands having 3 for 42, despite bowling just the 5 overs, almost 8 runs per over. That really shows that he bowled to the tail in that
He bowled to the
mindset
tail.
that he wants to
He got the
bite.
last three batsmen out who tried to hit him for.
Yeah, yeah, he bowled to the tail just by using the simple tactic of buying the wickets. I'm going to give you tossed up lengths. You can hit me for sixes all day long because you have the runs to play with. He
No,
had the
they
runs
have
to
the
play
runs
with.
to play with, and no, what Nathan Lyon is that he's very smart to pull it back. So the
Yeah,
length,
yeah, yeah.
so he'll give one ball which is there to hit, and then one ball he'll just slightly pull the length a bit back. And now
Pull
when
it
you
back.
try to connect that, then it hits the top of your bat or the lower end of the bat, and then we have a
Get out.
deep mid on to catch to take it. So
Yeah,
he's a wily spinner. I mean, the only word which comes to my mind when I talk about him is wily. And,
yeah, yeah.
and for to be take wickets in such conditions where there is not a lot of turn for you, you have to be wily. Because see, if we talk about Indian spinners over here, they used to get the majority of the wickets have come on Indian tracks, which suits them, the spinners. But
Mm.
look at Nathan Lyon's wickets. They have come in Australia. They've come in parts where there is not a lot. He has played majority of his cricket in Australia, where there is not a lot of offer for the spinners to play for such a team and then take so many wickets, be among the highest wicket takers, is tremendous stuff. Tremendous stuff.
Yeah.
And had he been from India or somewhere, he would have been much more. He would have got much more wickets because of the just purely on the fact that how much the wicket has to offer.
Yeah, and exactly the point, Vedant, where Nathan Lyon has an average of 30, but it's on facing tracks.
Yes,
So it's really
exactly.
excellent for that.
Very good.
And
Amazing.
yeah, and
And
Nathan Lyon gave a very cheeky comment as well when one of his days that I really dedicate half of my wickets to Mitchell Stark because of the footholds he creates. So that's he feeds on the footholds,
he
and that's how
feeds
he
on the
gets the
he
wickets out.
feeds on the photos, and even when he's not taking wickets, he is not giving a lot of runs. So
Yeah,
I mean, okay, in this match, maybe the players tried to hit him for sixes, some connected, so we see a high economy. But if you look at his overall economy, he when he is not taking wickets, he is so economical that
yeah,
you can get him, and then the pacers can rest between spells. You can get him, and you don't see a lot of runs going. And then gets the
yeah,
odd wickets, breaks the partnerships. So it has been, of course, footholds are there for the fourth innings, but even in the first or second innings, when the footholds don't come into play so much, maybe if he's not taking too many wickets, then it's just the economy which he has, maybe a 2 or a 2.5, which is not giving a lot of runs and keep creating the pressure and consistently bowling the correct lengths, because one loose delivery and you're hit for four. But that has
yeah,
not happened in Lions case. So amazing bowling.
yeah. Mm. And this will go on one of our clips on YouTube Shorts. So Agastya, work on that. This will really go into the shots because Nathan Lyon has been an excellent bowler for Australia for a long period of time, and exactly this shows why on
I think
pacing
he's
tracks he
not.
gets three wickets.
He's a. In my opinion, he's very underrated. Very
Yeah,
underrated.
very underrated, very
Very
underrated, very
underrated.
underrated.
Very
The
underrated.
achievements he has gotten 500
Achievements
plus
is
Test wickets as an
amazing. Yes,
Aussie.
exactly. But
Yeah.
with being a finger spinner to do
Finger spinner,
well,
not a leg spinner as well.
not even not a leg spinner, a finger spinner.
Finger
So
spinner.
it is amazing stuff.
Yeah, he is the goat of Australian cricket, and exactly why Vedant has pointed out. We'll go on and talk about the rest of the batting innings, where we see Stark and Cummins just rattling the batting order of West Indies. Really, on the fourth innings, it looks like that always. In the first two matches, that has happened, and yeah, it's the same old story for West Indies in the two matches as well. They have fought brilliantly. They have played really good cricket in the three innings, but in the last innings, they are really falling short. That's the difference of qualities between a team like Australia or a team like West Indies today. And that is exactly why the fourth innings. West Indies could not chase a 276 total and has bundled out quite cheaply. Exactly the difference between Australia and West Indies. Well, 2-0 up, and Australia have won the series. West Indies cannot come back from here, and really good series. They have won the series again. They have retained the trophy that really they have retained quite easily. 2-0, one would say, even
Not
after a
quite
very
easily.
tight
I won't say
match.
quite easily.
Easily at the end. I mean,
And
where
also
the fort.
next match will be a one which I'm very interested to look forward to because it's a ping ball game. So it is
Yep.
something, some ping ball. Off late, we have not seen a lot of games with ping ball. So then it will be very interesting to see what happens over there.
Exactly. Coming to the conclusion of this video, the whole summary of the test match, Australia started off strong. They scored 286 runs, backing of the innings of Carey and Webster, and a 4-4 from Shamar Joseph. Going to West Indies, who also replied with a strong reply, scored 253 runs, and with the huge support of Brandon King and Nathan Lyon taking the 3-4 on a pacing wicket. Australia replied with a 243, lesser runs than, of course, in the first innings, but with that, the main contributors were Cameron Green and Steve Smith, who were the backbone of the innings, and Shamar Joseph again amongst the wickets, who got a 4 for yet again. In reply, Australia gave a target to West Indies for 276 runs, but West Indies could not suffice, and they really bundled off for 143 runs and really couldn't convert anything. It was the same old story for West Indies, and Australia won by 133 runs. Well, as Vedant said, it was a bit of a spoiler as of the pink ball test is coming. Even though the series is over, the WTC cycle is ongoing. So every match is important, and especially the next test match, the pink ball test match. Everyone looks forward to it because it's a different color of test cricket at the end of the day, and that's pink ball test match. So do come forward and watch a review of the next test match that is starting in two
More
days.
than the review, watch the match.
Now
Reviews,
watch the match, yes, and more than the review, watch the match, and then after the match, come and watch the review of.
that is,
So
yeah,
yeah,
depends.
but till then, it's a good review. Thank you, Vedant, for joining me.
Thank
And
you,
till
Abhi,
then,
for
it's
hosting
good
it.
night from us. Good night from CNE.